Hey there, everyone. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support that I've received from everyone so far. I really appreciate it, and it's making my journey a whole lot easier. Now, one of the things in my first video that I told you guys I was going to do was make this informative for you. And some of you guys have already noticed that while I was in Denver, I had the opportunity to visit the local Colorado chapter of the Alzheimer's Association. This is something I plan on doing in each city that I stop in. And on top of that, I plan on doing what I call ALZ Staff Spotlights, where I interview a different person in a different department of the Alzheimer's Association in each city that I stop in. This way everyone knows what resources are available to them from the Alzheimer's Association. Now, while I was at the Colorado chapter, I had the great opportunity to speak with Linda Mitchell, the CEO and president of the Colorado chapter of the Alzheimer's Association. So guys, please take a few minutes to watch my first ALZ Staff Spotlight.
The Alzheimer's Association is the largest voluntary health organization in the world dedicated to one day eliminating Alzheimer's disease through research, but also standing by the families nationwide who are dealing with the disease today and using our voice in terms of public policy and advocacy to improve funding for Alzheimer's research, services for Alzheimer's families. So it's research, it's support in care services for families living with the disease, and it's also advocacy and public policy that we're dedicated to. And my role as president and CEO of the Colorado chapter is to make sure that we're hitting all of those fronts, those three different parts of our mission on a daily and weekly basis, because they all matter. The vision of the Alzheimer's Association is a world without Alzheimer's disease. And over the last 20 years in particular, we've made enormous strides in terms of the research knowledge that we have, the advancement of the research agenda. We are going to be fighting this disease for some time to come. It's a very difficult disease to conquer. Scientists often refer to it as the last frontier because it's the brain and it's very complicated. But progress is being made every day, and the investment in research is happening at a quicker pace now, which will lead us to that world one day without Alzheimer's disease, and hopefully in my lifetime. Alzheimer's disease is currently the most expensive disease in the world. And it's ahead of heart disease or cancer because of the number of people that are impacted by the disease and the length of the disease. It typically lasts 7 to 12 years. The investment in research from our federal government and from private funding is definitely gaining momentum as more attention is being focused on this disease. But for so many decades, it wasn't really understood as a disease of the brain. It was thought to be a normal part of getting older. So compared to other diseases like cancer or heart disease, the funding is lagging, but that's because the attention has not been there on this disease until recent decades. And now we're starting to catch up, but a lot of it really due to the momentum that we're seeing in concern and awareness in the public about the severity of this disease, the cost to our economy, the toll that it takes on families over the course of the disease. The other diseases that are being funded at a much higher level have been at their funding work for longer than the Alzheimer's Association. We were only founded in 1980. But those investments in cancer, in heart disease, in HIV/AIDS have really paid off. Death rates from those diseases are falling, and that's because the research investment was there. And that's what we need now for Alzheimer's disease. So I've been with the Alzheimer's Association for 27 years. When I started out, we were very small, just a couple of staff people, and I worked on program development for the association. I've been president and CEO for 18 years. And this is a cause that is so meaningful to so many people that it really captured my heart very early on, and I found more and more ways to be involved and to help grow the organization. So in terms of a professional career, it's been a wonderful opportunity to grow with an organization, to help that organization grow and thrive. But it's also meant a lot to me personally. Over the years, I've had several family members who have developed Alzheimer's disease and died with it. So it's both a personal and a professional cause for me. And I think you will find that with many, many employees and volunteers involved in the Alzheimer's Association across the country. We know that our work is important to families today, as well as our fight for research funding for the future. Nobody ever questions when they come to work why we work as hard as we do every day, because it makes a difference. And the Alzheimer's Association is the only association out there that is both dedicated to standing by families that need help today. All of our services for families are offered at no charge. We are there for the length of the disease for them, so we have relationships with families for 5, 10, 15 years. That work makes a difference, and we know it, and that's what we all thrive on. I have a lot of favorite parts about being part of the Alzheimer's Association. The fact that the work is meaningful, makes a difference, is probably number one on my list. But beyond that, it's the people that I've worked with over the years. Incredible staff members, very dedicated volunteers, donors that have stood by us and supported our work, invested in our work, believed in what we're doing. So I don't know of a better organization to spend your time, to give your kind of whole heart to than the Alzheimer's Association.